Rome wasn't built in a day, but it sure does look like the University Y was when you look at that thing. I don't think the contractors feel the same way. But my name is Bob Eklund. I'm the president and CEO of the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap counties, and I'm so glad you're with us here tonight. It's a really honor and a great privilege to welcome you here and to welcome the 4,500 students that are automatically members, as well as the faculty and staff that are coming into this YMCA community and opening of the new University Y Student Center. It's pretty amazing. And I'm thrilled to see the support this evening, and would like to recognize a few folks in the audience with a welcome from the governor's office. David Westbrook is here. David. Senator Jeannie Darnell. Representative Jake Fay was here earlier, and he has another meeting at the Y right now, so he sends his regards. I've got to call out the UW Regent Herb Simon, who has been an architect of all this and his vision. Tacoma City Council member Robert Toms is here. Chantel Munoz is here representing Derek Kilmer, who's been a great friend of the Y. You want to stand up on his behalf? And Representative Lori Jenkins is here as well. You know, tonight is magical, and it's all about the shared vision and the support of so many of you that are here with us today. It is important tonight to recognize the vision of Deborah Friedman. She's an iconic leader. Others will talk about her. I wish I could tell you all the feelings I have for her and her impact on this project. When she first came to our Tom Taylor YMCA for an awareness tour with some of her key faculty, Cedric and Harlan and others, she just said, let me get this straight to you. I want to work with the Y. I trust you. We can collaborate. We will build a student center. I said, well, that's a great collaboration idea, so we have some things in common. Just you don't understand. I want to do this. I want to do this within 2 years. Let's figure out how to get it done. It was the most amazing conversation I've ever been a part of in 38 years with the YMCA. So, Deborah, we're thinking about you today. She wanted to bring together all the strengths and community contacts that UW has, Tacoma, as well as the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap counties. The YMCA has a rich history in Tacoma of over 130 years of continuous service to ensure that everyone in our community has the opportunity to enrich their lives by improving the health of their body, mind, and spirit. Cedric, early on, was one of those that said the Y is here for everybody, and he has been steadfast in that. We are so proud of this unique collaboration that provides this opportunity and incredible space for the students of the University of Washington Tacoma. It was so fun to be here on New Year's Day and just be one of the folks working out here at the top. There's an AMT right at the top of the stairs. You can see Mount Rainier. And all these students are coming in with their hopes and dreams, and they're going, this is our place. You can just feel it. They are joining 120,000 other members of the Y family who are eager to welcome the students at any one of the 8 facilities we have throughout our community of Pierce and Kitsap counties. While we are here tonight to dedicate this beautiful building, we know the programs and work done inside these walls will change lives, strengthen the community, and provide hope, leadership, and opportunity for so very many. I look forward to hearing these stories as they come forth of lives changed at the University YMCA Student Center. I would like to thank the YMCA Board of Directors. You'll hear from our representatives later tonight, but I want to tell you, they're the greatest dozen folks you could ever have a chance to work for. They believe in collaboration. They believe in possibilities. They encourage the 2,400 staff to have impact from Poulsbo to Puyallup. They're part of the vision and tenacity on ensuring we work through collaborations and partnerships to serve and strengthen our community in our 2020 vision. While he will be on stage later tonight in the program, I'd like to thank Ron McMahon, and I'd like to ask him to stand at whatever place he's in right now. Stand up, sir. He's our Senior Vice President of Strategic Advancement and Collaborations, and he's been walking down Market Street for about 16 years trying to figure out how to do this collaboration. And here tonight, he's celebrating with us, and he was a key leader of the construction and collaboration. Also, Lauren Johnson, who supervised the construction with some folks that we recognized later. Last, I would also like to thank the University of Washington Tacoma leadership team, the Advisory Council, and the Board of Regents for the powerful collaboration. We are honored to serve this community hand in hand with them from Seattle to Tacoma. It's been a partnership that's just lifted everybody up. I had a prepared statement to make, and I've got to ad-lib a little bit. I was going to say this place will change lives, because that is what the YMCA does in ways that we can't even imagine, about bringing communities together, making people stronger, making families, however they're formed, happier and more a part and fabric of our community. But literally, this place is already saving lives. Just yesterday, a student was working out and had a cardiac incident. They were beyond where you should be to make it easy. The staff responded in a professionally, well-trained manner and saved this person's life right here at this campus. I want to say thank you to Brian, Scotty, Rachel, and Josh on our YMCA University-wide team for saving that person's life just yesterday. Folks, we have character-kindling power. We never know the impact each of these students are going to have in our community and our families and all that can happen here. There's so many more people I'd like to thank, but right now I'm told to have the great honor of introducing the interim chancellor, Kenyon Chan, from the University of Washington Tacoma. He's been a great partner to work with, and we appreciate all of his leadership and the support of his entire faculty. Please.
Thank you very much, and on behalf of the university, I'd like to welcome all of you. This is truly an amazing day to watch this building. So you watched this little clip about how quickly this building went up. It actually almost went up that quickly just watching it in real time. It was so amazing this past year to watch the men and women working on that building night and day and through the snow and cold and everything to get to such an extraordinary building that will last for many, many generations to come. We're very proud to be in partnership. Here you have two institutions, universities and Ys, some of the oldest institutions in the country, coming together, working together in tremendous partnership. We could not ask for better partners than Bob, your board, your staff. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm just wondering what we're going to do next. So would you like to build some housing with us, or what? I mean, it's just, it's a partnership that we could only dream of. And, you know, it also is emblematic of how this university has changed this area. For those of you who are longtime residents of Tacoma, there was a time when you probably wouldn't come down here at 5:30 in the evening. Now it's a vibrant university community with a wonderful Y facility connected to the downtown, the waterway, and we're now celebrating our 25th anniversary. And so just in 25 little years, we have really, really had an impact on the lives of the people in Tacoma and the South Sound. We're very proud of this partnership because, as Bob has suggested, we have many more lives to change and to affect. The University of Washington is here to really transform the education of all of us in this region and to drive the economic engine in this area. And we hope that we will partner with many others of you in this room as we move forward, because our best work is in our partnership with all of you. Our best work is when we collaborate with our community to build the kinds of institutions like this. And this is just a wonderful example of the many, many things that we do and the many, many things we want to do. So I want to acknowledge and thank all of you. The other thing I want to do is to thank a couple of the university people. There were so many. So first I want to ask all the university people who are in the room now, the students and faculty and staff who really worked hard on this project, please stand, be recognized, and let us thank you all. Milt, your team, everybody, if you wouldn't mind standing. Just fantastic. Great. I know a lot of them are downstairs working out, so. I specifically, though, want to thank a couple of our vice chancellors. Cedric Howard, who you met earlier, who called us to order, was one of the strong visionaries for this project. You'll hear from him later. But Cedric, I want to thank you for your leadership and your bringing together your team to work on this. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank Harlan Patterson for an amazing amount of very difficult, heavy lifting about the finances and the building and supervising construction and his whole team. And I know that Harlan has an amazing team behind him, but I'd like to recognize Harlan Patterson, the Vice Chancellor for Administration. Thank you for your work. Mostly, though, this is a university center and it's a student center. And if it wasn't for the students who drove this project, who paid for this project and who will continue actually to pay for this project, we would not have this terrific institution in our community. So it has been a long time coming with many, many different students from different eras of our student life. And I'd like to introduce to you one of them who will also introduce another one. But I'd like to introduce to you Will Johnson, who is a 2008 alum of our campus, a BA in communications, a minor in education. He was student government president. He is is on the alumni council now and a special education teacher. He is really Mr. UW Tacoma in so many ways. Will, would you come up and give some remarks, please?
I think that's one of the best introductions I've ever had. Thank you. When I was thinking about tonight, there was a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that came to mind. And it's, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." And I remember being a student here 7 years ago, and Cedric Howard approached me. He was also new at the campus at the time. And he's like, we need to really grow the campus. And he's like, would you guys really like a student union or maybe health and wellness services or a fitness facility? And we simply responded with, yes. Like, all of the above, please. And it's like, well, hey, here's this survey, and this is what we want to try to do because we're really looking at building a university. And there were several times I walk up on the third floor of the building where the chancellor is, and there was a footprint of the university. And when I was a new student here, back in 2007, I remember walking through campus, and there were no banners. There wasn't a lot marking the university. I'm like, am I on campus? I'm not even sure what this is. But I have to say that a few weeks ago, I was driving down Market Street, and I'm like, wow, here's this big building with this W and the Y, and it says University of Washington Tacoma. The vision of those dreams have become so true and so real. And I remember talking with some people back then, and they were like, well, we're graduating this year. Why do we want to put this much money into this? Why do we want to have this study? How is this going to benefit us? Yes, we want health and wellness. Yes, we want fitness center. Yes, we want the space, but we're not going to benefit from it. And you know what I had to say to them? What if there were people who decided not to do something simply because they couldn't see the true benefit of it? Think about someone like Henry Ford, who's like, I'm thinking about this car thing, but years from now, I'm not going to benefit from it. We're all able to benefit from what he did, what we benefit from what others have done throughout history. And so I have to say thank you so much to Cedric Howard for talking to us about that survey at the time. And it's amazing to be here to stand here tonight for all of you tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you from the students. Thank you from the city of Tacoma.
I would just like to thank everyone for being here today, and a big thank you to everyone who's just gone above and beyond to make this building a reality. I'm blessed enough to have been a part of the decision-making process for the last 2 years, and I'm lucky enough to enjoy the incredible addition to the campus. but it would not have been possible without predecessors like Will Johnson, Elizabeth Perini, and Raina Mumtaz, whose long hours and years of work helped make this building happen. With this new addition, it won't just be creating a space for our students, but for our community as well. And the students are just so excited to see what opportunities this building will create to bring our campus even closer to the community. And if you're a frequenter of social media, I can tell you the students are extremely excited about this building. I get to see everyone posting photos on Facebook and Instagram and tweeting as the building got closer and closer, and we just couldn't believe how fast this building was built. And it's not just the students who are excited, it's the community as well. And one community member that comes to mind is someone who's extremely involved in our campus, David Zeke. He has been the executive director to the News Tribune for 14 years and has been the publisher of the News Tribune since 2008. He is currently the chair of the UWT Advisory Board, and this last year, I had the incredible honor of working with him on the Chancellor Search Committee, which was announced today, which was incredible. It's been a long journey. He is said to be a very proud Texan by birth, but Tacoma by choice, and it shows. Working with him has been nothing but wonderful. He has incredible passion for Tacoma and for our university, and it is my pleasure to introduce him to all of you and to bring him up to say a few words.
Thanks, Jocelyn. I do love Tacoma. I think everybody in this room loves Tacoma, and I think of Deborah Friedman today as well. It's unbelievable that the construction on this project started in like November of 2013, and we said it might be finished in late 2014. Bob's working out here at this Y on January 1st, 2015. Unbelievable that you can erect something this fantastic in that period of time. It's just so outstanding. I think of Deborah. She looked up at the W that's on the new library a couple of blocks south of here. It's just like the W that's on this building, on the north face of this building. And she looked up at it and said, "I love it so." And she did love this campus and love this community. The outstanding feature, I think, of her leadership here was to really cement a mission for this particular university. She called it an urban serving university, and everybody repeats it now. On the selection committee for the new chancellor, that was one of our questions, one of our themes. Do you understand that? Do you buy into that? Because this community buys into it. Herb Simon, the regent from Tacoma to the University of Washington, is fond of saying, and it's so true, great universities build great cities. It's not the other way around. And we need great universities here. We already have a few. Our community colleges continue to grow. They're fantastic foundation of education for people getting out of secondary school. But the universities we have here, UPS, PLU, and I think the crowning glory for this town of Tacoma is the UWT, the phenomenal difference it's made in what this place is. When Bob was talking about, when you think about what was here when I came here 20 years ago and the anchor that this has become and the lives that it is changing, go back to what Kenyon was talking about and Bob was referring to it as well. We change lives here and we're changing this city through the University of Washington Tacoma. So I want us to think about a little bit what it means to be an urban serving university and how Deborah was all about partnerships. Her vision for that was, we're not an isolated campus, we're not the ivory tower, we're not cloistered from the community, we're going to be within the community. We're going to work to make everything in the community better. So she's working with JBLM. We have a great incubator for new businesses that take veterans and launch them into new careers as they get out of the military. She was one of the partners with the Tacoma school districts that's making sure, working with Josh Garcia and Carlos Antorno and others, that we graduate more of our students, that we don't have 50% who don't finish. We're up to, I think, 71% now. We're on a phenomenal track to graduate most of our kids in this community from our high school so that they have an education and the chance to go to school here. One thing Deborah did was emphasize the ability for Tacoma, and when she got here, it was like, I can't remember how many feeder schools, but the Tacoma schools were not among the top 10 feeder schools into UWT, and now they're among the top ones. And Deborah would go out, when coaches would go out on signing day and sign up an athlete in Tacoma, Deborah started going to the spring convocations when students were getting their awards, and she would walk up to somebody and hand them a packet and said, "Congratulations, this is your admission to the University of Washington." That is a life-changing experience, not just for that kid, but for the generations that follow. So it's those kind of partnerships that I want to call to mind today and tell you that this is just bringing to fruition yet one more of those partnerships that Deborah had in mind. I think it's fantastic. It's glorious to be here today. That's all I wanted to say. I represent the advisory boards. They're advisory boards at every principal program and activity at the school, for the School of Business, the Institute of Technology, for the incubator for the veterans programs and the like, for their urban waters. Advisory boards that are more of this partnership, and I'm just one person representing a whole bunch of people who are committed to this university and making it a success. Great to be here today. I want to introduce to you now Deidre Walkie, the immediate past chair of the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap Counties Board of Directors. Deidre.
Hello, everybody. You know, you come to an opportunity like this and you are reminded how much you love Pierce and Kitsap counties. I was sitting over there going, Tacoma. I am happy to be here tonight as a committed volunteer for the volunteer board of directors for the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap counties. I am joined tonight by many of our other volunteer board members, so please wave your hand if you're a volunteer board member for the Y. I see Tim in the back. I know Blake's here. I know Tom Taylor, one of our immediate past. And these are 12 super engaged and committed volunteers into our community and dedicate a tremendous amount of time. And we work on a lot of great things, but one of the greatest things that we've had a chance to work on in the past 2 years where I've been the chair has been the opportunity presented to us to participate in this collaboration with the UW Tacoma and build the YMCA here on Market Street, and we're very excited to do it. This is an exciting time for our community. Now more than ever, we need collaboration opportunities and recognizing that we can solve problems, maybe not by ourselves, but working with another organization that can bring another set of skills or another asset to our community to continue to build the Y. There are a lot of people that had a vision for the great thing that could be the UW Tacoma Y, and I get the chance to introduce two of them tonight. Cedric, and I'll ask you to hold your fabulous applause and woohoos and all of those things till I introduce both of them. I'd like to introduce Cedric Howard, who's the Vice Chancellor for Student Enrollment and Services. You had the chance to see him earlier, as well as Ron McMahon, the Senior Vice President of Strategic Advancement and Collaborations. We're very proud of you and excited, and we're excited about the Y. Thank you.
Well, Ron and I are going to tag team this next portion of the program, which are thank yous. But before we begin that, I must, Dave Zeke, have editorial rights to privileges to go off the script a bit. In September 2007, when I arrived here in Tacoma from Tampa, Florida, I had the opportunity to join two unique families, special families to me. The first family I joined on September the 4th was the University of Washington Tacoma family, my first day here. The next family I joined on September the 7th of 2007 was the YMCA family. Those families transformed my lives. Those who knew me back in 2007 knew that I was about 120 pounds larger. I was big. Not to say that I'm much smaller now, but you know, I was kind of like a square, like SpongeBob SquarePants. But anyway, I learned a concept that really, when I thought about my remarks or introductions, really spoke to this project. The YMCA has a term called 5210. Okay, and it's a term they use as a formula for having a healthy lifestyle. And you know, the 5 is 5 fruits and vegetable servings per day. The 2 is to limit the amount of time you sit down in front of the TV to 2 hours or less per day. The 1 is for spending 1 hour or more exercising per day, and the 0 really represents having 0 sugary drinks, sodas, pops, the good stuff. I'm from the South, so we had Kool-Aid, those type of things. But you say, how does this really equate to this building? Very simple. In 2007, between 2007 and 2012, the students had completed a campus life facility study in which the crowning jewel, the most important perspective and priority for the students was to have a recreation center and a student center. In 2012, which is exactly 5 years later, from the time we began the discussions in 2007, we started discussions with the Y. That represents the 5. The 2 represents that over a 2-year period, the YMCA and the University of Tacoma really engaged in conversations that concluded with design of a facility. Go figure, 2 years to have a concept to completion of a design. And the 1 represents the most important thing, the actual construction. From 1 year, from the time we tore down the Longshoremen's facility to 1 year later, we have this facility that you stand in today. The 0 is the most important for most of us who work here at UW of Tacoma and who have had any interaction with our late Chancellor Deborah Freedman. She says 0. That's the amount of excuses I would accept. So if you know her, you know that she meant 0. And so in those discussions, as I said, in those discussions, we had 0. We knew that we had to come up with a facility. And we put all things aside, put all chips on the table, and we came up with a wonderful partnership, which I think is a living embodiment of the legacy that she has left here, not just to UW of Tacoma, but most importantly to our city. So thank you. I'm going to turn you into hands of Ron, and then we're going to tag team over the next 2 or 3 minutes saying thank yous to various entities, both at the Y and UW of Tacoma.
So it's funny that Cedric thought about a Y, and I would say the 5210 is a Y, and a multi-care, and many others are part of that 5210. And I kind of thought of the university when I was thinking about what I would say today. But I was going to tell you that my first meeting with the University of Washington Tacoma happened in 2004, and we came down and we were really excited to partner with the university. And what came out of that was a dodgeball night at the downtown Y for about 140 students that they came up and played dodgeball. It was right after the movie came out. It was packed, and we were so excited. We thought that was amazing, right? 10 years later, they just did dodgeball here in this facility. It's been amazing to watch the difference in, if you think about UWT and the Y 10 years ago till now. It's just really, really phenomenal. And you've heard tonight about this great facility and what it's going to do for the students and for our community. But 2 things that really stand out for me, and I think they're really important for us not to miss. And they're things that I learned from Cedric and Deborah and Harlan. But the first one is that, did you know that this semester, or this quarter, 68% of the students at University of Washington Tacoma are the first in their family to go to college. I think that makes my hair stand up on my neck, right? Second is that what Cedric and Deborah, what I learned from them, is that the way to get these kids into college is to get them on a college campus. Now, the Y has over 50,000 youth members. What an opportunity we have to get these kids on campus. They now have access to the college campus. So it's just an amazing, and I think it's just an amazing opportunity to really impact, like as we said, the entire community. If I look, so I know that this facility is going to be amazing, and I do think that it's going to impact. It's a great asset for the students. It's a great asset for our members. It's going to be an economic catalyst, as Kenyon mentioned, for the downtown community. But if I look 10 years out into the future, and I think about the impact that we have on the community, I think the collaboration and the partnership and our shared mission, and the University Y and University UWT and the YMCA working together, along with many other organizations, that's what will transform the community. So I'm really excited about that. The last thing I wanted to say is that my job is is to work with with collaborations. And so I spent a lot of time working in collaborations, and they all make sense. A public and private partnership always makes sense when at the 30,000 foot level, right? The big vision always makes sense. But why they don't happen is because at the ground floor, at the personal level, it takes sacrifice, it takes compromise, it takes putting away your ego. And I just wanted to tell you that Cedric Howard and Harlan Patterson did that. They kept we worked through so many issues all the way through, and they kept their eye on serving the students, because this is really what it's about, is serving the students. And so on behalf of the YMCA, I'd like to recognize and honor Cedric Howard and Harlan Patterson. I think they deserve an extra special hand tonight. I can tell you that we wouldn't be standing here today without those two. I'd also like to mention on their staff is Lane McKittrick. I don't know if she's here. Lane and Ed Marecki also did a great job in helping this to be here tonight. And then, as you know, the students are paying for this building. It's a University-wide, it's a University of Washington's building, but the Y operates that. And so that's kind of an interesting thing, right? So to think about, we have to operate this building to be successful, and yet it's not our building to design and plan. And I'd like to recognize Steve Tadgy for his involvement with both taking care of what the university needs as well as what the Y needs to create this amazing facility that we're at tonight. So Steve Tadgy also deserves a great thanks.
A couple additional thank yous that we would be remiss if we did not mention. The construction team and the construction aspects of things. Our architect was McGranahan. Is anyone here from McGranahan? Thank you. The contractor was Mortensen. Is anybody here from Mortensen? And there was a myriad of subcontractors that did a tremendous job of bringing this building online. One of the last thank yous I would like to share, and that's an extremely that we're extremely appreciative. In 1951, the Tacoma Longshoremen decided that this was the site, 17th and Market, for a labor hall. And they held meetings there, and they conducted most of their business in that facility. And in the early 90s, the university purchased the facility and the site, and we changed it to our first iteration of a recreation center in early 2000. I would like to say that I'm extremely proud that we're able to follow through on the Longshoremen's legacy and honor them in the University Y by the mural that you see on the second floor into this building. And that's really to honor the work of longshoremen that they have done here and to recognize them as the true pioneers that established the first building actually on this site. So thank you to the longshoremen if you happen to be here.
Well, again, thanks for coming out tonight. The last person we'd like to have stand up, she's already standing up, maybe come up here a little bit, is Tawny Loomis. Tawny is the executive director of our Downtown Y, and she'll be also running our Y here. She's our little dynamo. So from here on out, you can ask her all the questions, and she'll be handling it, taking everything from here. So it's her job from here on out. So anyways, really thank you guys for coming. It means a lot that everybody's here tonight, and I think we're going until 8 o'clock tonight for tours and everything else that you want to find out about the Y and the university. So thank you.